Hey there, and welcome back. So it's been a couple of days, and I have not kept up with my system. No surprises there, but we can pick up where we last left off. So originally, I had planned to start the vibe coding videos for the podcast translation project thing. That was Monday. Monday came and went, and I was very busy, so I was not able to do that. So let's start today. Why not? So I'll move it to Tuesday. Okay, just continue with that. All good. And then I also want to try and start another series. So the first one is going to be the Vibe Coding Projects series. And I'm not quite sure how I want to do this, but basically, the way that I've got this kind of set up, and I've been thinking about how I want to actually structure the content so it's continuous and it's interesting and it's useful, but it's also varied. I think it sort of makes sense to have one main series where I go through my everyday sorting and organizing sort of a thing, so you can see how I do that. And then also I discuss some of the other projects that I'm working on, and those then break out into their own series, and you can follow those if you're interested in that topic or not. So, okay, we've got one. Let's open up the topics and think about what else. I think productivity systems is another really good one that deserves its own series. And so we could try to start that and see how that goes. If it feels like it's got enough legs to support its own series, then we'll just do that. If not, we'll just switch to something else, whatever makes sense. So let me put that somewhere. Let's see. Let's do it on Thursday. Why not? Put a reminder here for myself. Productivity systems, video series. Yep. Okay. All right. So in a moment, I will do that, and hopefully I'll have that ready by tomorrow. You'll be able to see that on the channel if you subscribe, and you can subscribe to that series. Okay. And then that's it from organization. The only other thing I did was in the logs, I decided to group the days by the months because otherwise it's just going to become this very long running list of dates. And I just kind of want to keep things very simple and very clean. So just put them under their respective months. And if you'll indulge me for just a moment, one of the things that I would like to discuss in the video series is the idea that these systems, be it GTD or Para or building a second brain or Zettelkasten, I'm not even sure if that's how that's spelled. Whatever the system is, it has similar types of components, and I've written about this previously, and I might bring that into this series. I feel that I've got a decent sense for the types of things you can achieve with them. So the types of activities that they're best geared for. One of the issues that I've had with these systems is that, as I mentioned previously, they do work for me for a while, and I don't know if that's the case for you, but they work until they don't. And part of the reason why I think that happens is because they just don't become habits. And maybe I just haven't done them for a long enough amount of time for them to become habits. And that's probably true to some extent. But I also feel that one of the issues is that because I didn't put these things together, they are spectacular if your brain kind of meshes with them very well. And so I feel that for some people, they just try one of these systems and it just clicks for them. This is kind of how they were going to do things had they spent enough time to maybe put their own system together, or it's close enough to where they find a lot of value and it's easy for them to adopt it into their way of doing things. So one of the approaches that I've been trying to take, and as you can see here with this very simple system, is the opposite approach. It is very minimal, and it is adding elements as I need them and not trying to plan beforehand, because I feel that, and it's not the case for all of these, but a lot of the systems do have a certain way of doing things. That's why they work, right? They have different elements that are interacting together to help you organize different types of activities and store different types of information. And so they're supposed to work in conjunction. The thing is that not everyone deals with the same type of information at the same rate. in the same way, and so on and so on. And so you can obviously adjust these so they better suit your needs. But I feel if I'm going to actually turn one into a habit, I might as well just start from scratch. And that feels like the most reasonable way of doing it anyway. If you've ever tried to build a new habit like eating healthier, exercising, waking up early, reading for however many minutes, whatever it is, you know how difficult it is to turn it into a habit and not just do it for 1 week or 2 weeks and then it just kind of peters off. And then you just stop doing it. The tricky bit is actually turning it into something you do every single day. So for me, the simpler it is, the more likely I am to stick with it. So that's exactly what I've been trying to do here. And that doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of interesting and useful ideas in these systems. And they kind of borrow from each other, they build on each other. And so part of that series, what I want to do is really take a little bit of time and explore what those elements are, why they might be useful, how you can maybe take them from that system and incorporate them into your way of doing things. Maybe one of the goals for the series is that we're not looking at these as a whole. I mean, obviously, we're going to look at what they do and what they're supposed to do, but I'm talking about we're going to try and maybe break them down a little bit into their components and see how they interact and why they could possibly work for you. So that at the end of the series, or as the series progresses, you have a toolbox of a bunch of different little elements so you can build your own system like little Lego blocks. So maybe you do need something that is very calendar heavy, or you deal with a lot of tasks, or they're date specific, or you don't need any of that. You need something else. There's probably something in one of these systems that you can adopt and incorporate into your own way of organizing yourself. So yeah, tangent over. Just wanted to talk a little bit about that and prepare you for what that series is going to be. And that's it. I will see you in one of the other series, or I'll see you whenever I get back to this and continue updating the topic lists and progressing with my daily tasks. So I'll see you then.